All right, welcome back, Oran Park. I love this track, but be prepared for some frustration, especially if you're new to it. It is a crashy track and can be a hard track to pass on, but it is a whole bunch of fun to drive. So it's been a while since the Ray was here. It was the old suspension, so it is the new suspension, new setup. Track conditions are going to be pretty quick for this week. So going over a few things here. One thing I will mention if you are new to this track, short laps. It's probably going to take like 5 laps to get your tires really starting to work well. And the last 5 laps of your tank is going to be tremendously faster than the first half of your tank. So don't get frustrated here. It is a while to get the temperature in the tires, and your last laps are definitely going to be your best laps. So just be aware of that. Ride height 30 mils. It's up a little bit. There are some curbs to go over here, and this is just helping getting over them without too much trouble as well. There is a great big dip in the final corner, and it is very easy to bottom out your car. I think still gonna get a little bit of scraping at 30 mils, but realistically, that is a big dip. You probably have to have your car a foot off the ground not to be bottoming out. ARB is 0. If you are new to this track and struggling, you may want to turn that up a notch. Turn 1 is nasty and it is hard to learn. Turning that up a little bit may give you a little bit more stability while you're learning the track. Damper compression 18, that's the same. Rebound the same. Brake bias 57.5%. For me, for you, it's something different, but probably just what your usual brake bias is. Spring rates low as they go. Front and rear cambers. You know my channel. They are asymmetrical. The right hand side is doing a lot of work. Two 2 degrees on the left and 2.4 on the right. Go with the higher value if you want to keep those symmetrical. Toe in 1.5. That is just to help get the front end a little pointier. Um, what you're going to find though is having that at 1.5 does make the front end pointier, better for the turn in. However, it does make the rear want to step out just a little bit more. So go with a 1.4 if you find that the back end is a little too twitchy. 1.4 still has some pretty good turn in, but keeps the back end a little more steady. And yeah, low as they go in the rear for the springs. 1.4 camber on the left, 1.5 on the right. Go with the higher value if you want to keep those symmetrical. Toe in 0.3. This track, not a lot of straights, a lot of corners. That's just to help get some temperature in here and help with the braking and getting around all of those corners. Ride height in the rear. Ride height is up a little bit more than usual. 42. That is to help rotate the car, because if you'll notice, the ARB is turned way down. I think this is the lowest I have ever had the ARB in the rear. That's called turn 1. Turn 1 is why the ARB is turned down. Um, yeah, the back end here really is easy to step out. So it is turned down and the ride height is turned up just to give the car a little bit more rotation. Damper compression 6 and 18, that's pretty much the standard. Fuel levels 13, that should get you to the end, no problem. Go with 14 liters though if you are sweating fuel usage a little bit. And gear stack standard, yep, short is not going to do it. You will top out halfway through the start finish straight, and tall is just probably a little bit overkill. All right, we will go into the guy. Track is 21 and 35% usage as usual. So we'll go into this in slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. Coming into turn 1, watch out, this is so crashy, especially on lap 1. Just keep your radar up, especially if you are in the middle or back of the starting grid. There's going to be carnage here. So getting past the green barrier here and getting your car over to the right a bit. You want to open this up as much as possible, full throttle, and then just a little bit of a lift as you start to turn in. You don't really want to or have to get onto the curbs here. You're not really trying to cut the corner. You're actually trying to straight line this as much as possible. So, and then once you're past the curbs here, getting on the brake, starting to downshift into third, down into second, down into first. You do want to have the car slowed down by the end of this pavement. Do not get on this pavement. This pavement is very disruptive, and do not touch this grass. If you touch this grass trying to open this corner up, you are done. Releasing the brakes as you turn in. Very important to release the brakes as you turn in. If you are on the brakes hard here, you are going to spin out. And letting the car roll in. Just let it roll in. Getting close to the curb here, but these drainage curbs, I guess they are very disruptive. So you don't really want to get into those. Just right up beside them, and then picking up the throttle, not stomping on it. Again, you can even spin out through this section as well. Just ease on the throttle. You can make use of the curbs here on exit, and then working your way up through the gears. Watch out if you get really quick over to the right. These tires here can actually catch your tire. They are deceptively closer to the track than you think. I've been caught out on that a few times. Getting right over to the left, keeping it right on the line, keeping it your left hand tire on the pavement patch here, not on this white one. This white one is disruptive, but keeping it on the pavement patch here just to open this up as much as possible. Just before the Marshall station there, getting on the brake, shifting down into second gear, pretty hard on the brakes, down into first, letting the car roll in. It's a late apex, and then picking up the throttle again, nice and gentle. Do not stomp on it. That is a very tricky corner to spin out on. Make use of the curbs here on exit, working your way up into second, getting it again way over to the left as much as possible, just to the edge of that grass, just before the tires here, getting on the brakes, turning in. It's important to turn in here early to have your car turned in before the dip. If you try to turn your car after you go over this ridge, it's too late. So you have to get the car turned before this ridge. Easing off the brakes as you come over the ridge. If you are on the brakes hard, you are spinning out. And again, right up close to this, but do not get onto this angled section. That is bad news. And again, picking up the throttle, but nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. Do not stomp on it. You can get all the way over to the edge here, but again, do not get onto that white cement curb. That is trouble. And then working your way up the gears, getting up into third, and again, getting your tire just grazing the grass here. And it sounds like a bad idea, but it's actually quite a good idea. It's going to help rotate the car, turning in just before the end of the green tires here. In third, little lift now, and that having the rear wheel on the grass is actually going to have that car rotate very nice. This is a late apex. This is the apex here, not at the start of the curbs. Picking up the throttle again, nice and gentle. Don't stomp on it, and letting the car just the wheel unwind and letting the car run out to the left. You can get onto the cement here of this one. This one is not too disruptive. In third gear, just before the red and we'll say yellow curbs, just starting to lift, just a dab of brake down into second gear. You can come in here hotter, but it's if you get into second gear first, now I'm already starting to pick up the throttle a bit here. Getting onto the cement curb here, very important, get on the cement curb. There are off tracks, but you have to really butcher the corner to get a slow down, so don't worry about that too much. Up into third gear, and that's the important thing. We're already into third gear, getting onto the curbs here, and then just heading over to the right just to open this up. And as you approach the red and yellow curb here, shifting down into second, again, dab of brakes, and then starting to pick up the throttle as you get the car turned onto the cement curb there as well. Cut that corner as much as you can, and up into third gear already. You can leave it in third gear through that section. However, it is faster on entry, but you are going to lose time on exit. So I do like to get second gear entry, third gear exit, and on the throttle nice and early. And then cut this corner again getting onto the cement here. And then as soon as you pass the cement, this is a blind corner, but as soon as you pass that cement, starting to turn left. And this is just going to take some practice. It's blind, just going to take some practice. Get your tire onto the pavement here, the black patch, but don't get onto the cement. That is disruptive. And again, don't get into the grass. I think there is a slowdown there if you do cut that corner too much. And he'll probably spin out too. Up into fourth. You can leave this in third. Uh, Third is fine if there's nobody in front of you, but if there's someone in front of you, you're going to be drafting. Fourth is going to be faster, so do practice this in fourth for sure. And here's the big dip. You are going to catch a little bit of the ground just before the dip in the pavement, and there really is no great marker. It's just a few car lengths before the actual dip in the pavement. Shifting down, hard on the brakes, down into second gear. And again, this is a very late apex. Do not turn in too early and get yourself onto the yellow and red curb here. That is going to cut the corner and allow you to get onto the throttle nice and early. Unwind the wheel. Just do not touch that wall. Obviously, you are going to see some scraping on that wall. If the guy in front of you does catch that wall a bit, it's going to give you a good run into turn one. You should be able to make a pass there. And that is a 109.4. I think that should be pretty competitive, but there are going to be some people out here I know that really have this track down. There'll probably be some people getting into the 108s even without a draft. So I hope that helps. We will run this out at full speed. Good luck out there. See you next time.